All right, y'all. Those on YouTube, welcome. Listen, we've been recommended I should react to Thinking Basketball. So why not we react to why Stephen Curry might be the best offensive player ever. Greatest Peaks episode 15. Shout out to Thinking Basketball, man. Love your content, twin. I do watch it at times by myself because I like the dissecting that you do. But, bow! Let's get to it, y'all. Good.
Traditional NBA superstars have either
get your snacks, y'all. Get your snacks.
Or really athletic. Every other player in this series is at least 6'5", except for this guy, Wardell Stephen Curry.
Look at that light-skinned boy.
Rightfully considered the greatest shooter in NBA history.
Point guard.
But just how good can someone be with outlier shooting? How much did his lack of classic athleticism hold him back on defense? And was his radical offensive approach so game-changing that it made him the most valuable offensive player?
Exactly, Chris.
You are watching what greatness.
Hey!
Where's Larry Bird in all this? Has it blocked by Elijah Wan?
Michael Jordan saves the day.
This series tackles one question. Who was the best at his best? We start at the ABA merger and go through the best multi-year stretches, examining the legends who provided the most on-court impact. These
Timmy
are
D.
the greatest peaks.
Fire intro, my brother. Fire intro.
I liked it, but I was more interested in basketball at the time. So, it was more my sport. Kind of, I had more. I was kind of better at it. It's basketball, and I wanted to.
Yo, Zach, you can't make up. You can't say that when you look at the stats and you see point guard though. You can't do that, bro. You can't do that. You can't call somebody a combo guard when it says in paper he's a point guard. You can't do that, bro. You can't do that. If that's the case, wasn't Magic Johnson a center? Come on.
practice some more on it and try to make it to the pros if I have a chance.
The other offensive greats we've looked at in this series found a way to pressure the rim while also getting to their sweet spots.
You can't say that, bro.
Kareem had his sky hook, Jordan had mid-range pull-ups, but Curry short-circuited the entire system. He didn't park himself in the most valuable spot like Shaq, and he didn't charge toward the basket like LeBron. Instead, he turned the three-point line into his own personal layup. From 2016 to 19, Curry made nearly 50% of his open threes.
Don't talk about this.
That's the equivalent of a 73% two-point shot, efficiency that only incredible rim finishers can generate.
Check this out. Because people have this weird thing where they say how much more important KD was, and of course KD was important. KD always will be important. Of course. But I told you this many times. KD, it was so easy for KD to score that it was ridiculous on the Warriors. Look at this.
Curry
Look at that.
made nearly 50% of his...
Look at that. Crazy. And I ain't gonna lie to you, Kyrie was silly for sagging off. This is an example of KD going straight down the lane in the middle, dunking the ball while there's mad defenders on Steph. And I remember some people all the time like, yo, bro, you do understand that that's what I was talking about when I say that of how important Steph is. You know what I'm saying? This is not the clip, though. I'm sorry. Sorry. Very sorry. But look where Magic was built around. He was built around the most idolized players the league has ever seen. Draymond and Clay didn't even make top 25. That's also another thing, too, people don't like to talk about as well, too. But me personally, I don't like using that in my argument. Me personally. But
threes. That's the equivalent of a 73% two-point shot.
Big
Efficiency
man.
that only incredible rim finishers can generate. But instead of being limited to the restricted area to produce this kind of efficiency, he could manufacture his long-range layups from all over the court.
long-range layups is
Curry
crazy.
became a real-life video game, a custom player with 99 shooting who started spamming threes from 28 feet away like there
Spamming
was
threes.
a glitch in the Matrix.
That's
It was
all
only
core work.
slightly better for defenders
So much core
when
work,
they
bro.
were a touch closer at 4 to 6 feet away. he made 43% of his threes, the equivalent of a
I watched a
65%
good amount,
point
and a lot of times I didn't see
Other
McGee
players
play.
have shot at comparable percentages, but Curry set himself apart with the obscene volume at which he could manufacture these attempts. It starts with his release speed, which is the quickest that ESPN Sports Science has ever clocked.
Exactly.
Around
You do that then.
0.4 of a second on some of these shots. In less time than it takes to, say, basketball, Curry ends his dribble and has the shot out of his hands.
0.46 seconds is absolutely ridiculous.
Takes to, say, basketball, Curry
But this is one of his quick shots that he had to because the shot clock was also winding down, and
ends
he also
dribble
knew the space he created too. That's such really good awareness.
and has
You understand that Kyrie was behind you, and he probably understood if he's gonna try to block me, I'm most likely gonna get the foul. LeBron wasn't up yet. He knows he has a quick jump shot. So that was just the offensive IQ and the awareness of understanding where your defender is so ridiculous.
the shot out of his hands.
But 0.46 is crazy.
So instead of using verticality to keep his shot away from defenders, he used speed so they can't close the distance horizontally.
Man.
This is how he can get his shot off from all over the court, even when guarded by bigger defenders. Curry even has crazy release speed in catch and shoot situations.
Yo, Clay, what the hell?
Curry even has crazy release speed in catch and shoot.
That's definitely out of bounds. That's definitely out of bounds, bro.
Situations, taking around 2/3 of a second to grab a pass and turn it into a shot.
Typical Harden
This
defense.
could be even faster on perfect passes because he tried to catch it while he was squared up to the basket,
Oh my
ready to
goodness.
shoot. By the way, his dad, Dell, also had some lightning quick
Yeah,
releases
Copper.
back in the 90s, although at 6'2", Steph was even shorter, so his release speed was even more
Yeah,
important.
Pops' jump shot was super
Another
clean.
reason he's able to generate so many of these quality threes is his range. He's comfortable shooting his normal shot out to at least 30 feet,
Tween.
which means there are a few hundred square feet on the court where an open Steph Curry 3 is highly efficient offense.
Yep, as soon as you backpedal,
There
it's
have
over.
been scientific breakdowns of this as well, and the key to his long-range accuracy
Backpedal that
is
bad, I'm sorry.
minimal knee bend, which limits the variability in his shot mechanics. This creates a consistent energy transfer off the floor, where Curry flexes his wrist harder at the end of the movement to control the distance, giving him an incredibly stable shot from well beyond the line. Another skill that separated Steph from so many great shooters was his handle. His dribbling sets up so many of these shots by helping him probe for superior shooting spots
Yes.
on the floor. He had all the building blocks of a great ball handler. He loved little in and outs like this. This one creates a ton
Lord.
of space into
Lord.
his step back,
Oh, Lord.
and it turns into free throws. And he had the full arsenal of through the legs, behind the back crossovers, or sharp crosses.
Yeah,
in front of
he
his body
loves
to shake
he loves his
defenders.
behind the backs. He loves it.
He likes to throw combinations. A second behind the back bounce buckles Kevin Durant and leads to his
Jeez, bro.
layup. And this was more audacious, an in and out into the behind the back in traffic, and the sweet finish for an and one.
See, it works every time.
He blended.
I'll say this too. Number one, W edit on that too. I'll say this to you. I seriously do think that when he plays against Damian Lillard, he makes sure to play his best. And not because like he hates Dame. I don't think anyone hates Dame. I think it's kind of impossible to hate Dame. Dame seems like he's a very likable dude. I ain't gonna lie. But off the shooting, competitive side of things, you feel me? Every time I see him play, I'm just like, yo, he looks so. I say it like this: the way Curry plays against Dame is the way Kyrie plays against Curry.
Hesitations with sharp, hard dribbles, staying over his center of gravity to accelerate in any direction. Steph didn't really lean much on these moves, keeping weight in both feet for quick changes of direction after his dribble, which
good ball.
meant he could do this on the run right there and create a little opening from deep to pull up from.
Also, he understands this too. Check this out.
Run right
He understands, for one,
there.
I don't know why Tristan Thompson was telling him to switch earlier. I think that's what he's trying to tell JR to do. They should have doubled right there and allowed Young to beat him. I don't know. That was terrible defensive IQ by both of them right there. A lot of these brothers understand how to dissect a defense so well. And in a split second, they understand Boom, if I go here, he's going to go over, he's going to come around, he's going to pick up. I understand it quickly. Now, I'm not saying I'm on that level, but I do understand. That's how I am when I'm playing. I'm not saying exactly like Steph. I'm not saying that at all. But I do understand if I see someone's foot back up, you press forward. You hezzy the hell out of it. There's things you just understand as you get experience and you play more, excuse me. But Steph, Kim, KD, all of them, they just understand it so well.
A little opening from deep to pull up from. The threat of these pull-ups from anywhere opened up his drives. He looks at the hoop and brings that right hand toward the ball like he's going to shoot, which fakes out James Harden and sets up penetration into the paint. And sometimes he could lift defenders off their feet by merely looking at
I did see that, big man. I wanted to ask you more about that.
Like, gets Curry
like
free,
is he really that
but
good?
Again, he can't finish it.
I don't know him, so I wasn't too sure.
Steph's small stature made finishing in traffic a tricky endeavor. He destroys Gerald Henderson, but another wing sliding over alters his shot.
That's a oh my goodness.
This time he uses that
that's a hard
step
layup
back by looking at the hoop, but he sees
Agreed.
traffic in the lane and pulls up early, which
I'm
ends up
down.
in a rejection from behind.
I'm down for that.
These little pull-ups could be an effective counter. Love
yours.
crowds him so tightly he only needs a first step, and a soft banker from about 8 feet does the trick. Curry wasn't lightning quick, but with defenders so far out worried about his shot, he could get a step, and once he turns the corner here, he picks it up for a long-distance scoop. Most attackers take an additional dribble in these spots to explode upwards, but he couldn't win verticality contests, so he relied on ambidextrous touch. These longer, higher arcing layups aren't quite as easy as taking it all the way to the cup.
Like, people don't understand. Like people always talk about Kyrie, and of course Kyrie's layup package is crazy. But people don't understand. Stephen Curry's touch around the rim is absolutely wizardly, just like Kyrie, bro. Finger rolls he does.
But Curry's outlier hand-eye coordination helped him convert these kinds of finishes regularly. When there wasn't a second defender, that handle let him attack guards and flip up little shots like this.
That's a tough.
And some of these were just incredible finishes, making circus shots look like no big deal.
3 years, 20 million.
These could even work against shot blockers. A crossover into a shot fake that freezes the defender briefly and sets up the...
Also, too, that was good defense by Ibaka. Steph just understood, honestly, how to just maneuver around there at the last second. That's another one of his big things that he's able to do. Like him and Kyrie and Devin Booker is another example. They're able at the last second to adjust correctly.
A huge teardrop off the glass. This is similar to what we saw from Larry Bird in episode 4, where creative adaptive skill offsets a lack of verticality. Curry brings the ball far away from the defender and his body and has the concentration to take one in the face still finish. Since defenses couldn't give Steph any airspace on screens,
Ibaka was nice
onto him. So when he was able to get a step, he could use his body to protect himself from larger shot blockers. This came in two.
Even that, Tristan Thompson, that was really good defense by Tristan Thompson. Can we talk about that?
Big men often switched onto him, so when he was able to get a step, he could use his body to protect himself from larger shot.
Just that last hezzy just killed him. But that was really good defense. That was really good defense. And I was going to say that earlier to you guys, too. That Tristan Thompson's pretty underrated. He was strong. He was a great rebounder. Pretty darn good defender. I just remember all the times just watching him play, and I was like, damn, man, bro's pretty good. Like, I'm not going to lie to you, bro. I just remember that. I still believe that. I still believe he got something in the tank as well, too. But that was good defense. Just better O. Just better O, man.
Shot blockers. This came in two forms. He could either angle back into the path of the defender.
Kevin Garnett.
Or
good
when
choice.
A shot blocker was in pursuit, he could decelerate and create contact. Despite weighing around 190 pounds, he could take it right at much bigger players sometimes, and these moments where he embraced physicality on hard drives not only helped him finish, but gave him a respectable free throw rate for someone who relied so much on shooting and ball skills. Curry's bag of tricks made him a pretty good rim finisher, and an especially good one for a point guard.
Stop it, Cover.
Tony Parker is the historical gold standard among little guys, but Steph wasn't too far off in terms of volume or efficiency. Sometimes he'd mix in mid-range shots, stopping on a dime on one of these drives, but only about 10% of his offense came off of two-pointers, outside of 10 feet like this. Curry's style organically bypassed the mid-range because he was either hunting for threes, half of his offense came from downtown.
For all my shooters out there, understand this. When you get a screen like this,
the mid-range,
tween it,
because he was either
get another one.
for
That is literally one of the easiest ways you can get a nice shot off. Look what he did.
Curry's style organically bypassed the mid-range.
Gets the screen, tween.
Because he was
another
either
one comes up. He notices it. So what does he do? He tries to listen, Tristan should have stepped up already. Instead, he goes back. Once you see that defender that was primarily on you go back and the other one is not even up yet, you pull right up. You get right into the motion and you hit that three, bro. Because you have enough space and enough time. Again, not even near it yet. Not even jumping. Just beautiful awareness of understanding. Defense is not on you yet. They're not up. And the primary defender that was on you previously is slacking off. Great awareness.
Half of his offense came from downtown.
I gotta think about it.
Driving by defenders who chased him far away from the basket. Steph took three-point hunting to a new level, becoming more dangerous after passing it, which...
Wait, did he break that?
Hunting to a new level, becoming more dangerous after...
Oh my God! Jeez!
Passing it, which brings us to the fourth and final reason he generated so many great attempts.
Sets it.
His off-ball
hand in the face. Everything.
Many great shooters run around without the ball, but Curry took the art to a new level. His most notable contribution to the field was the relocation shot, where he'd pass it and then immediately run out to the three-point line.
I used to love Bell, bro, on our team. He understood the assignment. Get that brother open. He understood the assignment. Like, for real, bro.
For a catch and shoot.
I just wish that he
being so
elevated his
dangerous
game
with a live dribble made so many of these possible. He could attack off the bounce for a pull-up or finish into traffic.
I don't think Clay even knew that he moved over there.
He's possible. He could.
I think he did.
Could attack off the bounce for a pull-up or finish into traffic, but Steph passed it so we could just keep looking around for higher percentage shots, even without the ball.
Tucker.
Remember, big men often switched out onto him, and they weren't used to clinging to their marks after a pass, and those brief lulls created more 24-foot layups for the Human Torch.
Sadly, never happened.
Curry had all the classic off-balls right into a bomb, and he was a master at using picks, walking defenders right into his teammate and jutting out the other side for open looks.
Which is smart as well.
When teams overplayed the top side to take away the three, he had incredible feel for slipping back door. And then a minute later, that back door sets up a counter cut back out to the three-point line, and that's just wrong.
My goodness gracious, bro.
Door sets up a counter cut back out to the three-point
hell?
Point line, and that's just wrong.
Loopy, I'm mad you missed it.
If you're interested in more Curry cuts and the power of off-ball movement, there's an entire video about it on this channel. In addition to having every off-ball move in the book, Steph just never stopped moving.
Oh my God, Sean, I miss you. I miss you, Livingston. Oh my goodness, I miss him, man.
Off-ball move in the book, Steph just never stopped.
Look at this. I ain't gonna lie, Steph was out of bounds. I think he's out of bounds. But I miss Sean, man. I miss Sean Livingston so much, bro. Off the low block. Oh my goodness. Fast breaks. The passing, the mid-range assassin. Oh my, bro, he was such a great player. Oh my goodness, he was so good for us, man. Him and Barbosa, he was so good.
Which basically made him a threat to score all the time. And because he ran around so much, Curry was an all-time great endurance athlete, training not just his lungs, but his nervous system to be able to stroke.
Look what they just did, bro. See, this is one reason why I didn't want to do the Thinking Basketball, because I'm going to dissect a lot of stuff. So if y'all don't like me dissecting too much, let me know. I'll fall back on it, you know? Couldn't block his mate. No, you couldn't, because if you try to block it, you foul him. You foul him. But look at this.
And because he ran around so much, Curry was an all-time
passes it, right?
Endurance
misses
athlete.
It. Instead of giving it back to Bell, who's closer,
training not just
he taps out to Curry, who's at the three-point line. Like, bro, this man is just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And Draymond's IQ of just getting that to him was just great anyway.
His lungs, but his nervous system.
I miss
to be
him,
able
man.
to
I really do
stroke
miss
these
him,
shots
man.
on autopilot, even with fatigued legs. Despite this atypical approach, all of this made him one of history's great scorers, and Curry authored the greatest scoring regular season ever, becoming the only player in the three-point era to lead the league in scoring volume and in scoring efficiency.
That's crazy.
Of course, the possessions where Curry wasn't scoring had an enormous effect as well, because Steph required unique defensive attention that the league had never seen.
But again, you see why it's better for him to not have the ball than for him to have the ball to help his team. Look what the hell just happened.
Had an enormous effect.
He's there.
As well,
He's being guarded
because
really well.
Steph
He's
required
moving.
unique
He's moving.
defensive
He's
attention.
moving. Now what happens
That the
is sets the screen.
lead-
Now they both are sticking to him. Chris Paul, well, he's kind of late. He's very late actually, and leaves him young. Why the hell?
Had
open.
never seen.
And we know Harden wasn't going to jump anyway. So just like understand this. When the Warriors are losing badly, that's when Steph needs the ball in his hands. But to get players in rhythm, to get the team, set up.
Bring on the bacon.
Stop at
Dad.
15. And then we're gonna react to what big man the catch and shoot king.
After his
React to him.
record-setting regular season in 2016, Curry hit a rough patch in the playoffs.
Yeah, I
Quite
remember this.
Literally spraining. He returned a few weeks later, and
I hate seeing that, man. Damn.
while his numbers were still good, they were a step down from his blazing regular season performance. The Cavs wanted to be physical with Curry in the finals, bumping him away from the ball whenever they had the chance, with the intention of wearing him down.
But hey, Steph doesn't get fouled off ball though, right? Do y'all even watch the games?
Big men chipped him when he ran by, and Curry's man harassed him while nearly ignoring the on-ball action. The goal was to take away Steph's threes and force his teammates to make them.
Which was smart.
And these Curry rules of physically face guarding him while a second defender.
Curry rules. See what he did there? Shout out to Michael Jordan, which is crazy. People used to say that I was hating and I'm biased. I keep it funky, bro. If Curry doing some bull crap, I call it out. I don't give a damn. Fair is fair. Honesty is honesty. That's what I'm about. But when I tell you the amount of people, bro, that sat there and said to me, I didn't know what I was talking about, I wanted to play every single one of them one-on-one so badly. This man is getting his ass beat religiously. And you're just ignoring it because you just don't like him. And I'm just like, bro. But then if it happened to your team, you'd be like, oh, yo, why isn't no one defending bro on my team? It's not a problem until it becomes your problem. You one of those. You one of those. Tell you something, bro. I ain't got no hate in my heart for nobody, bro. I do not. Oh, my God. He's 6'9"? Oh, my God. Yo, the King's got to steal. Oh, Jesus. Let's finish that. We got two more minutes.
Led to 11 fewer touches.
I know it's real gamer gonna
denting his scoring volume in the process. When Curry had the ball, they jumped his screens hard or simply trapped.
Listen,
him
Copper,
when he
I
was
got
supposed to
clapped,
give it up.
Copper. I got clapped.
And this led to wide open shots. But Steph's teammates shot a chilly 28% from downtown with him on the court in the finals. By the way,
Iggy was
other
also so
teams
good for us
mimicked
earlier
these
too, bro.
tactics in the ensuing years, and Curry responded by gaining some
Go down.
muscle to help absorb this.
The hell was that?
The ensuing years, and Curry responded by.
You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? So I mean that's a crazy ass kick he just did, but Capella just grabbed the hell out of him. Ref is right there.
Gaining some muscle to help absorb.
Calls nothing. Bro, but Curry be flopping, bro. He got grabbed, bro. If bro's getting, let me tell you something. I don't blame no NBA players for flopping because the NBA doesn't call calls correctly. So imagine you don't get the foul calls you deserve, but the ones that flop do. What the hell else do you expect them to do? They're going to flop. Now, do I like it? No, I don't. But I do understand why LeBron, why Steph, why Jokic do it. Because they don't get the calls that they deserve. Because he averages 4.7 free throws a game. That's why. Less than Donovan Mitchell. Career-wise, by the way. Again, context matters, which a lot of y'all don't like to put into place because it doesn't go with your agenda or go with your argument. Again, you're one of those. You're one of those. You're one of those, bro. You don't care about the truth. You only care about your truth. You're one of those.
Absorb this kind of physical load. Defense had an effect, but Steph also lost some of his rhythm and lateral quickness by playing through pain and some stiffness after that injury, and his normal ability to punish big men on some of these switches was noticeably absent at times.
That's good defense by Tristan, too. That's good defense.
He wasn't sharp handling some of those Cavalier traps, throwing a few lazy passes, and turnovers were a problem for him in general.
Yes, I'll say that too. Even to a degree, that is sometimes one of Steph's problems is his lackadaisical passing. That's one of his problems. He puts a lot of air under that basketball sometimes. You know, the overheads. The overheads that he does, usually those are behind the backs. Those usually have too much air on it, or it's just not really going to where it should be. Still does that to this day, but not as much as it used to before. Before, I used to piss me off, bro. Oh, man.
Even with fantastic ball handling, he could be a bit sloppy at times, and his dribbling aggression came with some risks. Whether this was more rust or game planning, Curry's playoff scoring wasn't quite as otherworldly as his regular season stampedes, which still made him an all-time level scorer, just not an outlier. So much of defending Curry is about what's happening away from the action, and that kind of defensive attention leads to open shots for the Warriors. This is Curry's legendary gravity.
We're almost done.
Pulling extra defenders into his orbit, even when he didn't have the ball.
Look at this.
And this is a sizable part of his offensive
My
impact,
goodness, McGee. My
drawing
goodness.
the defense away from his
Wide
teammates
open.
as they freak out about his shooting. The price to pay for
I missed that,
devoting
Clay.
so many resources to stopping Steph's scoring was wide open layups at the hoop while defenses fixated on Curry. And people
Oh, Tristan, let's dissect this play real quickly.
so many resources to
So Lev comes up.
stopping
Love comes up.
Steph's scoring.
Fix it. Boom. Now,
Was
what happened here?
wide open
Tristan,
layups at the hoop.
you should have been the one to drop down.
Well, defense
Well, honestly, no. I actually agree.
is fixated on Curry.
Somebody else should have been down there. No, I agree, because then they would have rotated correctly, because they would have passed to the corner most likely or top of the key, and it'll probably end up finding its way back to Steph. So maybe I think Tristan's more right. I think he is. It's gonna be seen in the close future when top 10 players will be 60%. Yo, that's another funny thing. Big man, give me a second. Remind me that in like 2 minutes. I want to talk about that too. Very good point.
And people often point out that these defenders are merely confused, which is
Javar!
true
What's up, twin?
because
Back.
guarding Curry
Good to see you.
creates confusion. The margin for error is minuscule.
Yep.
Sometimes it's not even confusion. The Jazz devote the entire weak side to keeping an eye on Curry, and even with 3 defenders,
Look at this.
they will
That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Let me play that for y'all again.
consider weak side to keeping an eye on Curry, and even with 3
That's ridiculous. That's crazy.
defenders, they will concede a Draymond Green triple before losing Steph.
Oh, Kevin Durant is more dangerous than Stephen Curry. Do y'all watch basketball? I don't understand this. Y'all look at Hezzy Tween behind the back, turn around, fade away with 1 foot, and think that means that person's more dangerous. He can score, yes. This dude ain't even got to do all that, but he can if he wants to. He doesn't have to do Hezzy Tween behind the back. He just run. Hit you with a Curry slide, you gone.
Some gravity is more subtle. LeBron would normally be closer to the block on the weak side, but he's whispering sweet somethings in Steph's ear in the corner.
That's a crazy thing to say, bro.
Here's some relocation gravity, where none of these defenders are even thinking about
Wow,
closing out
they didn't
to
even
Klay
look.
Thompson, one of humanity's best shooters of the round ball. And sometimes defenders start
5 dribbles.
anticipating what to do, and that leads to more layups.
That's a weird layup.
These kinds of plays are exactly how a so-called jump shooting team can lead the league in field goal percentage at the rim.
All right, we'll stop it right there for now.